Hello and welcome to the February 11th, 2010 video version of Invested Central's Chart of the Day. I'm Tom Boley, Invested Central's Chief Market Strategist, and it's my pleasure to provide you with today's Chart of the Day. This Chart of the Day is brought to you by StockCharts.com, simply the web's best financial charts. Today we're featuring Cliffs Natural Resources, ticker symbol CLF. This is a $5.7 billion basic materials company. CLF produces iron ore pellets and supplies metallurgical coal to the steelmaking industry primarily in North America. Now, if this one looks familiar, it's because we just had this out a week ago as a chart of the day on February 4th. What we saw then, first we saw the breakdown here. You can see some very bearish candlesticks. A very impulsive move to the downside through the 50-day moving average. You can see the volume really spiked on this move. We got down to oversold conditions. The RSI was approaching 30, stochastics down the single digits, and the stock bounced back up. It was on this bounce right here and the failure at the 20-day exponential moving average that we like this one from a short perspective, thinking that it could get back down to about this $40 level to retest the prior lows. Well, it did that the very next day, and actually I guess it was 2 days later it had dropped all the way back down to almost $39. It failed, though, to break down to the downside and has since recovered back up, all the way back up, testing this 20-day exponential moving average from beneath. You can see the 20-day exponential moving average, 43.71, to Wednesday's high was 43.91, so intraday we did break above it, also breaking above the bottom of this gap resistance before turning back down at the end of the day. Now we've got this trend line here, so we've got a fairly, you could keep a very tight stop. Certainly any move back up over the 50-day moving average, which is currently at 45.43, would get our attention, because then we'd be taking out both moving averages, the recent price high, and obviously that would not be good, especially if volume were on the increase as well. But rather what we expect is going to happen is that we're going to bounce down one more time, at least to test this $39.50, $40 area. The MACD on the most recent lows still was lower. On the next move down, we may see a positive divergence develop. We'll need to watch that. One other bearish thought on this particular chart is the RSI. You can see that when you're in an uptrend, as CLF was for many months, you can see that the RSI 50 level for the most part was holding as support. Well, once you break beneath and you start a downtrend, the RSI 50 level tends to hold as resistance. So we think that as the RSI here comes back up at 47, it's getting very close to a resistance area in terms of the RSI, in terms of the moving averages, also in terms of the trend line. So we like this one in terms of a risk reward, a solid risk reward on the short side. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation today. Be sure to check out our chart of the day every day at investedcentral.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for our free weekly Market Pulse newsletter and have the chart of the day emailed directly to you. Happy trading.